$400 to go, gentlemen and ladies.
That sounded like my time. Your play and your option.
Three-way.
3 players.
$800.
You got 16 left?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's right.
Check. Wait, how much did I bet here?
You got 2 coming back. Absolutely. I forgot to tell you that.
I'll check.
Okay.
I have the 7. One more right here. You are small.
I was going to say.
Please. 14.
Hmm. With 16 back.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget I'm playing the river.
Oh, I wish you would have said that while I still had my cards in my hand. I would have called you. Ooh, I hid you.
Oh, you had him.
Yeah.
You had him.
He was all in if he had that.
Yeah, if you had more than that, you were.
I was putting in just enough for you to go all in there, Paul.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I tried to get you.
I wasn't calling you.
Oh, I know. That's why.
Oh, I'm not
I
supposed to.
almost had
Click on
you.
that. Sorry
That
about
one's
that.
yours. This
Not
one's-
erased. You probably had one
You
over.
forgot him. Okay, now we're good.
Wait, there's a card in front of you.
Yeah, this was
So
the
what-
first
what-
one.
Oh, then we are.
Did y'all look at them
I
already?
didn't.
Yeah,
Right.
and it hasn't read any of them yet, so.
Okay.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Okay. No, we didn't look, cause like,
Yeah.
I've been trying to.
That's
It'll help.
art. That's
I mean, I don't know the age, huh? He's a big fly.
Okay.
Four.
Calling.
All in is announced. change this way, that way.
I got mine.
Yeah, but you wanna, so people know.
Not cold.
That's why I did it, because I knew he was gonna, and he would've been one short.
So
He's right now.
he's all in.
He's
and
all
he's
in.
calling
4, 5, 6, 7.
for less.
But yes, it's
Right.
less.
Yeah.
All right.
So you gotta count turns.
That's always a bad sign for you.
You're about 4,000. I called. Shit.
He could.
I wanted to play those,
Okay, he
obviously.
has 17, I believe, total. 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7. 17 total.
All right, roll them, gentlemen.
Good luck, guys.
9.
2 overs. Oh,
One
man.
over.
I was
what
live,
you want.
baby. I was live. Oh, not anymore. Oh.
Andy is his ace.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep, no, that's it.
Mine's
Full house.
Let's go, Larry.
You did pick the base.
Nice try.
There was a
If you
sweat.
hadn't got your
Get
9,
this
that
guy
would
started. I'm still.
yeah, I'm big blind.
Mine's were real big.
Yeah.
Did you cut already?
Oh no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm still on the last
That's
one. I'm
okay.
sorry.
You felt the knife. I had a pair, and with everybody limping like the way they did,
Yeah.
actually didn't think I was going to get any calls. I didn't realize how low Leonard was. Not that I was worked out well.
I did.
Actually, I said, oh, what the hell, when he threw in his 400. So I figured any raise he was calling.
Mm-hmm.
He just, under his breath, kind of said that.
Yeah,
so.
he did.
Well, I kind of
He
figured he was
almost
calling no matter
He
what.
almost
Yeah.
pushed pre-flop.
That's what I was thinking. Usually anybody says that, they're pretty much committed with their cards when they're short stack. Okay.
Those nines back again.
Do I got a 9? Let me see. I forgot what I got.
Different deck.
Check.
I'll check.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
I check.
12.
Third hand after the break. You have to check that out. Mm-mm.
Really? I thought she was gonna let me get a couple. Yeah, you had me, PD.
Oh, I bet you I did. You looked
Oh,
at
that's
the-
what he's
No, I
saying.
did.
You were hoping he was going to raise.
He was
You were
hoping-
waiting.
I was waiting.
He was hoping he'd get another
cards.
He wanted another free card. didn't he?
Yeah, I wanted one more free card. That's it. Just one. But I knew it wasn't happening. I just wanted
She was
one.
like, oh yeah, please.
Sounds like that.
Wanted one. I wanted free. I call.
I call.
Okay, four ways you get changed.
Want me to take it out?
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of those. Yeah.
Check.
500. You don't like the 500 color.
I'm not in the hands. So
Okay.
you can bet 5 million for all I care. Heads up.
Check to you.
Oh, Smiles over there.
Nice.
Nice.
Waiting on that.
Sure was.
You know
What,
what?
dude?
Man, I was.
Pair hits the board with the.
I had a pair. I had a pocket pair.
Yeah.
One of them was a
Did you
spade.
feel that?
Yeah, I felt that.
Man,
I like all the time.
He was
It's
sitting
pretty.
right
That
there.
next seven
Pretty
hit, that
Need-
smile. I was
Just
like,
needed a queen. Yeah, that slowed you down a little, huh?
Mm-hmm.
or queen nine spades would have.
Mm-hmm. I've had that before.
I should have bet some crazy.
Yeah,
And you would have
just-
been like,
Oh, with the ace, he might follow you.
yeah, yeah.
Because the ace is awfully tempting.
Yeah.
Don't you remember what he said earlier? I had the chips.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
Check.
Give me a dent my stack.
Oh, I might have to straighten that.
I hate when you do something like you put out a 500 bet because you think you're gonna just get a sucker call, and then somebody comes over the top on you. and-
1,200.
I don't think that's any good.
Wow. Alright.
Those are yours, and the red ones are mine, I believe.
Good bet. Man, 2 L's.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm like, wow.
You gonna be the big one?
I am?
No, I'm the big one.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. Just trying to get my money into it. Okay. Well, that wasn't.
You just pulled a big one.
No, no, that will not be happening again.
Wow.
You're in
But the
trouble.
2 times when I thought I was the big blind, remember you told me I wasn't.
12 and
I
nine.
had the exact same hand each time, and it was 3-4
Wow.
both times. So it was,
An omen.
yeah, you saved me a couple times.
Oh, I need to double up. Be big.
Good luck, everyone.
All you.
You guys lose one?
Yeah, I'm out.
7 over there, 7 over here. So we still keep playing, right?
Thanks. Good luck, everyone. You want a chop ball?
Probably more people in it than just you two.
Good luck. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Ted. Take it easy. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You guys do the same.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul.
Everybody folded.
No, not necessarily.
339.
No,
335. 330.
3 players down at this end of the table.
Check.
Two players.
$400.
That's good.
$1,000.
How much is it now?
The blinds.
No, I'm teasing.
player humming to my left.
34.
I had to get the hell out of there.
34. You have a garbage can in there?
Right on.
Oh, right. Okay.
Constant.
Right, everybody fold it, right?
Yeah.
Good one, Paul.
Name.
I'm just letting you know the pot was right. You get all the chips.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I didn't muck my cards.
Blind set, please.
That one's mine.
Tony. Tony, that one.
Tony
Yeah, that one.
snatched. You didn't look at yours, did you? Art.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope. You're back to you.
Yeah.
You might have to hit reset.
You got it?
It's going up.
300, 600.
Oh, no, you had yours up before. Yeah. Next time. 36.
Listen to the girl who's going to play one card telling you to put more chips in there. That's all she needs is one card.
I was going to beat him with
I've
one,
heard a
just
chip in
one.
the chair, but not cards in the chair.
What's your burn?
Chop, but that is.
400.
You guys have 6 over there?
Is that a 9 or 10 player table?
This is a
9.
9. Can be 10 without one of the spots being red.
Well, good holiday season.
Yeah. Have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, you said it was full.
Yeah, Tony.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony. I say it's win. Starting next year.
No, it's at
I'm always
400.
15 minutes late.
Okay.
I was down tied up with ministry that I'm doing. I can't get away.
Okay.
So it'll always be that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
May your turkey be juicy.
It already was.
It already was? You already had your turkey?
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh.
We served 8 people today.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. Well, have a good week. See you, Gary. Yeah.
I guess. It's a really good fold.
They might have had King 7.
Great.
This Tony's, you're cut it.
Small. Yep.
36.
this?
And then I
Yeah,
say,
four.
yeah, I was like,
On ULT.
I'll keep it.
It's
And
6
it's
now.
like king,
600.
Yep.
You're all right. Tried to talk Tony into playing a game where the blinds were the same the whole time. Not happening.
What's that
12.
thing now? The winner is the dealer of each hand?
Button.
The button?
Button tournament. That's where whoever wins ends up on the button.
Have you played that one before?
No, I've had a
Sounds
few.
interesting.
I had a few friends that played. They didn't really like it all that well.
I'd never get to be the button, but
Well, that's like, you get somebody that's a solid player that can be disciplined enough to lay down cards, and then you get the guys that can just throw it out there every time without thinking. You know, those are the guys that are going to get the buttons, and you got to weed through those probably for the first 2.5 hours.
all in and a
Two
call.
long ones.
I'm just gonna fold.
Mm-hmm.
All right, match his stack.
I'm gonna scream.
12 more? Yeah. Yeah. 13 more. One more.
All right.
And
Roll
who's
them,
doing
and Art's dealing his fate.
it?
Yeah,
roll
just
over.
flip them over.
Facts.
Who do I have him beat? How do you know you beat?
Hmm?
Oh, alright. Oh my God.
Aces and, or kings
Jacks
and
and
What's
jacks.
your other name? You got a
Ace
six.
Oh,
ten.
king, tens, and an ace. He
Wow.
got counterfeited.
No.
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
He's got kings and jacks.
Oh,
I
kings
had
and
the
jacks.
jacks.
He's
right.
got,
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Kings and jacks. Right.
I almost pushed when he did it. I can't believe it. And then I thought, well, I think the way he went all in, he really had
So
me.
are we getting them?
he did.
I mean,
He did have it.
and then he called and I thought, oh, like.
Fold a
Change.
king?
Cat.
Sure,
Ten.
what you need?
A
Ace
10
ten.
full of king.
We're still playing, right?
Oh, we're playing down a player?
Yeah, there's still,
many
there's
cards?
7 and 6 then?
6 and 6. What did you have?
Ace 10. I
Ace
didn't
10.
get
3, 4. So we have 5?
1,
No,
2,
we have
3,
six.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, would you like
Six.
to ten?
How many do they have?
Should be 6.
How many you got over there, Mark?
Players.
Thank you.
6 and 6.
And what did you say you're combining that? 9?
9,
Ten.
yeah, 9.
I'd like to do a 10. You guys want to combine at 10 and just not be able to read one of your cards?
I'm all in.
Almost.
It would be like a
Those are the days out.
Yeah, you can't get it.
But you never know. You could have pushed in and then.
Oh, yeah.
Just realized that I never turned my
Do you have any more beer?
microphone back on for
How about
break
one?
time. That's- Folks, you know, you have to understand this is not a high-paying job, so you pretty much get people off the street. So sorry about that. If this is the first time you're hearing my voice, and for some, that's probably a good thing.
Later on.
So the sounds of
Happy
it,
Thanksgiving.
mine was off as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've had so many good jokes.
Now I can hear you very, very good, Trevor. It's amazing.
It's like the voice of God.
Well, Norm and Chad, yeah. What do you want to do?
Well, we'll pretend like we've been out doing whatever. Now we're here, ready to give our information and bring it on home.
I'll drink to that.
But we are 6 and 6. Both tables have 6. I think they said maybe they're going to combine at 10 to at the final table and go from there.
Well, there'll probably be an ad in the USA Today tomorrow or somewhere on Poker Line about looking for announcers into next week's final game of the Akron Poker League.
Well, the real story is we were actually just doing mime work for that first 35 minutes. If you could see the video of that, it was really, really well done. Steve was in a box for just about the whole duration of it.
Yes, I was.
Beautiful.
Tony with the king queen here, and he looks like he's gonna. Oh, he's in the big blind. Let's see what happens.
Did I hear LT call?
LT called from the small, and Tony just checked his option. I'm not really sure why either hand was played the way it was.
Wow. Surprised Tony's just simply checking on that.
Here's a spot. Here's a card that LT
This-
could represent.
I think she's going to probably go ahead. No, she didn't.
Check it.
King high.
I have nothing.
LT didn't even show.
River card was a mystery, but king high takes it down.
I wish I should have looked one more time before I did that because I've done that before and folded the best hand.
Yeah.
I've done that
Alright,
before.
you're small, big.
I think I remember your comments from the Chase the Bracelet sessions. You really enjoy this broadcasting, correct?
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, not only do I like to see most of my opponent's hole cards, but I like to try to explain my thought process and how I would play a hand. LT with the bullets here, and Tony with not bad ace five suited.
What do I have to raise it to?
At least a 12.
Alright.
Looks like last hand Tony's under the gun and he limped, and LT just checked the big blind and checked it through. So she actually gets a call from the small blind.
Calling? Okay, heads up.
Tony's room for some diamonds.
He gets a lot of paint.
We'll see how aggressive Tony wants to be with this. That's not a flop you generally want to see when you have aces. But he says, sayonara.
Aces.
LT shows aces. So like the other table.
We're still at
lost
six.
another player.
Down to 11 players total now.
Can't wait on you guys.
Boy, everybody.
Okay.
There's my namesake. The other
Nice
Steve.
job today.
Not doing it justice.
Have a good holiday.
If there were more people in, I might have still played.
Going on.
I think we have quite a few more aggressive players at the other table. It'll be really interesting to see how the dynamic changes once they merge at final table.
Well, enjoy yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I
It's my
didn't
deal.
see anything over there, but you were at the final table to begin with. You got Chris Becker over there. You got Bobby over there.
Well, I couldn't take a chance. I mean,
we
actually,
got
he
Mark
might have hit
Petrofello
those kings. I would have been
and,
messed up.
Greg.
Should have did something pre-flop.
So it's gonna be a different scene once they merge up here.
I had
A lot more
aces
raising.
when we went to Medina.
A lot of
And I
people
went all
attacking
in,
limp
and then
pots.
the person had kings, and then they end up getting.
A couple of pretty good
what?
starting hands here for Paul, Renee, and Bruce. Bruce raises.
You can look at Renee's face and see how interested she is in this. She actually kind of threw her head back when she saw the raise size.
Yeah. I'm not sure what he bet, but it almost looked like she's getting ready to go all in.
I think she had an idea in her mind of what she wanted to call, and it might have been slightly more than what she was looking forward to.
Yeah, Renee did go all in.
Ooh, she says, "Hey Trevor, you don't know a darn thing."
3,000. 3,000.
3,000. Bruce calls.
Bruce wastes little time.
Queens.
Oh,
He says,
yeah.
"Sorry, Charlie got you
All right.
dominated."
You're still. Oh no, you got king, queen. Okay.
Queen burn.
There
There's
it
three
is.
out. There's the queen.
All right, there's the queen.
Renee spikes the queen,
Damn.
and
I made
she's
it.
right back at it. Bruce
I was
nods
like,
his
I
head
got.
as if to
I
say,
can't wait. I mean, I gotta
Well.
move the big blind.
"There you have it."
Take it down now to 5 at this table and 5 at the other. Is that right?
No, Bruce doubled up Renee, so I think we're still 6 and 5.
Oh, Renee. Okay, Renee won that hand.
Yeah, she hit the queen, and
But I folded.
Bruce
had a
is
nice hand.
smiling
Yeah,
through his
you
teeth.
Suck that.
He says, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I can get a little redemption."
I'm not gonna do
Problem is, ooh, Tony's got jacks. I
Yeah.
gotta watch my volume so they can't hear me.
Now look at Bruce. He's just going 2 fingers to the cheek.
Look at his eyes. His eyes got wide. Please raise. Bruce has little option other than probably going all in here.
I'll raise.
Did not go all in.
He must have a few more chips than I thought he did. Tony has that posture. He's all in. Bruce calls.
Call the 3, please.
Here's the 16.
And the
Here's
3.
the 3.
There you go.
What's going on here? Did he call?
These are already paid for.
Wow.
Tony says,
You
man,
gotta
the
match
plant's so
that up.
good. And I
You're
just
looking
stepped
for
in
fish
and
hooks. Tony needs a couple fish hooks.
I said
Wow.
queen and boom, a queen comes up.
Uh-oh, one more
He's got the
spade.
ace.
Oh, he has the ace.
Yeah.
Oh
They both
my.
had a spade.
Yep.
He's got
Both
you
of them
covered,
hit the
Tom.
flush. Tony has the
Wow.
nut flush with
Wow, that was a
8
monster.
through cents in there.
Tony's knocked out. I think we're going to the final table now.
Nice try, Tonester.
Yeah.
We lost one.
Paul gives us
Well, we're
condolences.
still, it's
We're
5
still-
and 5.
yeah.
Five and
One
five,
more.
we're
And you know what? Yeah, and I don't.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't
3
know.
minutes.
Are they muck?
Okay, who wants to
they
cut this? Tony, you want to cut
Maybe we won't be
this?
combining at 10. Maybe we're
Should I
going to
hit
wait till 9.
reset, Tony?
Do that way. Those buttons, those things down there. Thank you very much.
Oh, no. I don't need to. That's right.
I think the table's set up with 9 plus a 0, and I believe
You don't.
initially the 0 was set for the dealer when we played, when they were in the chase the bracelet.
That makes sense.
When we're playing, we're down to 1 game.
90-handed is the true final table anyhow.
That's yours right
This
there.
is me? Okay.
I don't know what. Oh, absolutely.
It'll help a lot.
I fold.
Hey Tony, if
I fold.
if you can let us know what the raise is, because a lot of times we can't hear what the raise is. So.
You can change.
Oh,
I
that's
almost said it too loud, so.
Tony's going to do a different responsibility here now. He's going to be announcing from the table side.
Check's good. I can't call.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Did you muck yours?
I don't know if I did or not. Nope, I didn't.
That's all right.
You're deep in the
They are
mouth.
now.
Yep, they're getting out.
Okay, so we are
Oh,
sweaty
in
palms
your
time.
familiar
Everyone
spot.
wants to be final table, and we're waiting for one person to go out.
The button is on Bruce.
Let's see some action.
First act will be LT.
Yeah,
Those
2-7.
cards are off.
Blinds are 300, 600.
This is another instance where whoever's most aggressive can win so many points
Folds around to
because
Rudy.
the odds of somebody getting a good hand
Rudy
is
all
so
in.
few.
How much?
Rudy goes all in with 8 jacks.
6-1
That's how
top.
you do it, man. Especially with Paul on your left. You know,
1200
everyone
total
knows
for
you know
Rudy.
Paul's going to play a little tighter than most people.
You don't have to
Take advantage of
I
that.
keep telling you.
I don't
Paul
want
calls.
to, but I
Paul
am.
calls. Call Pauls. Paul calls.
The call Paul must
Queen
not have been very
5
much.
versus Jack 8.
Not anymore.
First 3 says
Queen.
advantage Paul.
Queen.
10.
5?
No, a 10 would be nice.
Did you muck me?
Wow. You got it.
That's
Yeah.
come out.
It's
You got
the
a full
same.
house
Paul
there.
takes it down for the win.
A boat.
Paul
Another-
says.
Okay.
And we're
Yeah.
going to combine to a
Says
1
I
game.
don't do one
Right,
game.
right. I understand, but when it's down there, I do the same thing. Even
Should
if
take
I
it to the final
Ball
table.
game is such a crazy
Now
game.
let's see some fireworks.
You're still here, but just think that way. You're still here. You cannot. Wait a minute. Whose cards are these? Are these Paul's
I think
or?
I don't know if we're gonna get I don't know if we.
Oh, where are they at? Oh yeah, we
Are
are
they
getting
sitting
it.
in, or are we
I'm
reseating?
going to reseat it, everybody.
Good luck.
I've been doing good right here.
Just,
Well, put me in seat
but I
5.
get stuck in the blinds again.
Oh yeah. Right.
You would normally be dealing right now if.
No, you just dealt. So you
Okay,
Right.
so you'd be dealing with me. I would be small, so I just paid big. So I hopefully I get a good draw on the seat.
Right.
Well, still bigger table.
Yeah, but still. I don't know.
Okay, your seat number is your card number.
Ah,
Okay, small blind.
Us 3.
I guess I'll move right
I
over there.
understand where I'm at. That's cool.
No, I'm.
Where are you going?
Oh,
happening
do we?
now
Oh, we
is
just match up
We're
this way.
going to go to one table.
Oh,
Tony puts the cards out.
I didn't know if you got
Draws
to
for
pick
seat
your
position.
seat you wanted.
You did. You did pick it.
Is that last one mine?
Yes.
Got 9.
Yeah, really, I was thinking the same thing.
Big stack coming in.
Alright, lots of aggression.
All right, 2, 3,
Well, I only had
4,
one game and I lost
5, 6, 7, 8. Can I have the seat cards, please?
Is that what you guys are playing with?
Looks like
Oh,
Paul
no.
drew the ace, so
Bobby,
he will
did you
be
throw the 9
the
down?
button.
I had a 9.
Yeah.
Three ladies.
So, I mean, that was surprise.
Been struggling here.
Not now, though. You're at this table. Oh, wait, just a second. I need to run to the ladies'
Have you
room.
played at the table?
Again?
Yeah, rather than trying to overnight.
1 or 2?
So I'm
Oh, I
not
don't
really-
announce
Okay.
it.
Then when you fold,
So now
rub them right here.
You have to rub them and then
When you fold,
throw them
bring
here.
them up.
All right, and then.
When you muck, you gotta rub them right here.
But you have to rub them.
So that's
Yeah,
right.
put them
Well,
right
you
there.
can just,
You can just set them there, even on top of each other.
Okay.
Up here. I know, I didn't know either when
I'm going to call them. Poker guys are going to rain upon me.
Who's got all the money?
Kind of dispersed. He looks like he has a
Looks
lot.
like
Greg has a nice
Bruce and Greg. And LT might be like thirdish. Oh no, Chris
Mark is
looks
good.
thirdish.
4th, 5th.
Same.
No, I'm
About the
not.
same.
Yeah, we're actually like exactly. I have you by 100 in chips.
Yeah.
Me?
So maybe me and you can just go on, so one of us will make it.
44.
One of us can make
Yeah,
it.
7.
You have 7?
Dish.
Well, I'm going to double up and then I'll have you covered. And I can suck out on you, have to call a card or something.
Hey,
That's my MO.
good rebound.
I got 2,000.
Yeah, it stung.
So they're like, we
Oh,
couldn't tell.
Last time we figured out.
I was like, okay, we got a lot of
I know, sometimes I really hate this
Let's
game.
go. Let's go.
I think that's consensus.
Anybody else want any black chip up?
Yeah, I need one of those 5,000 chips.
I'd like a yellow one.
Take a yellow.
like,
I get pissed off at the V because I get down to the final table. I try to really have as few chips as possible. The big denominator. They all want big.
Alright, I think we're back.
Let's see. Last man, 1,
Final,
2,
final table is set.
4.
9 players, 7 will be eliminated. We'll be down to the final 2 that'll join next week's final 9.
we got 9 or 10.
9.
I'll just say makeup. I was making myself pretty. That's we are online.
I was there when you
Yeah, wine cooler?
No, it's a Limerita.
And snap your fingers.
Those are a lot stronger than wine coolers.
Thank you. I will never announce you going to the bathroom again.
Chip count, who's the big stack?
Right now, Bruce has probably the most out of everybody.
With the blossom.
And then
I was gonna have one of these.
Greg has
They
a
only
nice stack.
served them in
LT's
like-
looking pretty
it was
good.
$13 for one like this big. That's all they had.
And Mark.
Yeah,
Then
let's
probably
do that.
Paul.
That's way too much for me.
I drank it. I drank
Everyone else, other than that,
bourbon
it's
concert.
pretty low
Yeah, I mixed that with tequila once.
in comparison to the blind levels.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a,
I was
actually,
not
that's a
good
really good
afterwards.
idea. I'll have to remember that.
All right,
So are you dealing, Rudy?
test 1, 2. Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly.
3,
Yeah.
we have probably
good,
one
Tony.
hand at 3-6.
All right. It looks like we're going to get it started
Yeah, you have
here.
some
There
homework
is
to get
30
to.
or 23 seconds left in the blinds. Blinds are 300,
You
600.
got some homework.
Dealer position 1 is Pomasquitz. And F1 to start.
I'll see you later.
All
My
right,
daughter
this is
had
probably
some
the last
questions
hand at this
about
level.
homework assignment,
LT or 6.
And we already said whoever went out first is going to go out. So.
I think
Have a nice Thanksgiving,
Bobby
Rudy.
2 short stacks right now. Maybe
Wednesday
relay
night
as
at
well.
V, buddy.
Lost.
Huh? When?
V
Yeah.
game Wednesday.
So we'll probably be seeing
Paul, we're using Frankie's.
some shove spots for both these players.
We need to bring anything?
Morning. My name is Cash.
I'm not coming.
Is it the cash game? Am I invited?
Everybody's invited.
We both tournament and cash.
Next round, Greg. Greg raises to 1800.
Greg's playing what is called the rookie hand, but when played correctly, it can be very profitable.
Killian and Maslin. 1649 Killian.
It's a good spot
or-
for
or-
it.
or-
Not too
buy-in?
much competition behind him.
$30.
LT might get
1800?
frisky with it.
LT calls.
She said, "I will get frisky with it."
She's in the big blind, so it cost her 1,200 more, I think.
Let's see if she flops Gin again.
They play there every Friday night and we have a nice big league.
Hey, flip the gutter ball.
Every
Saturday.
Saturday.
I think Greg will probably continue though.
Greg bets 2,500.
Very large bet.
LT calls.
Snap
calls.
Wow. She said, "I'll beat you into the pot."
Both players check.
Did not read that card, but it is a paint card, it looks like.
Yeah, King of Hearts.
Okay. Gives Greg 2 pair.
Good card for Greg.
Greg
He's
bets
practically shutting
2,500.
down when he checks the turn.
Tony, if you can hear us, that last card did not show up on
Yeah.
the...
Paul, can you move that king into the more of the middle? For some reason, it's not reading.
LT's just itching her nose, trying to save a little face here.
There it is.
But it would be so exciting if she went all in now.
LT folds.
She thinks better of it.
Two folds.
Lost a lot of chips
Put
on
that
that
hand
one.
like that.
But then,
That's a spot where Greg bets so much on the turn. I would like to see him just barrel, or so much on the flop. I would like to just see him barrel all the way through. Because what does she really have there? She has a 9. She's probably gonna raise. She has big cards, you know. Nothing scary came on a turn. Why not bet again? You know, a 7 doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for her to have in that spot.
First act will be Greg.
yeah, you had a 7 the whole time. I think.
Greg folds.
I think Bruce is the only one to have anything much to write home about.
You move Greg's cards to them up.
Come on, Greg, get it together.
Get used to it. Chris announces a raise.
Chris says, I don't need good cards to raise.
Just my hand.
Just a few beers and I'm good to go.
1,800. 1,900.
He likes to use that beard as intimidation, the bald head. Sometimes it works for him.
I think that might be Uncle Sam Adams talking.
So the
Because it's on-
commentators don't see it.
It doesn't
Most
look like
days
we
it
still
is.
have hands.
Oh,
It takes it off.
yeah, it only takes 4.
On Bruce.
I put mine under the bottom.
Folds around to Bruce.
Is Bruce in the big blind?
Bruce calls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we good?
2 players. First act is Bruce.
It's like an ace in the middle. Nope, check in the middle.
Hmm.
Honestly, good flop for both of them.
Yeah.
Bruce is a little more happy, but Chris is basically the best he can hope for, other than flopping 2 pairs. So
What's the bet? 27?
28.
2,800 bet by Bruce.
interesting lead up by Bruce. Conventional wisdom would say that you would just check the razor and make him make a continuation bet.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could evaluate from there whether you want to check raise or check call.
Well, he has the chips to go ahead and be a little aggressive on his hand.
Mm-hmm.
He's open-ended, plus he's got the ace. So
Depending on what Chris's game plan is, it wouldn't be a terrible move for him to go all in right now. Obviously, much easier for us to say as we can see the cards.
Chris folds.
Chris just thinks he got outflopped there, but in all actuality, the aggression proved to
Button
be the reason
moves.
for the win.
Chris stack first.
I don't mind Chris being aggressive there. Just maybe under the gun +1 wasn't really the best idea. There's so many people to act behind you
Actually,
to have such better hands that can re-raise you or do exactly what Bruce just
a
did.
little pushing doesn't help, actually.
I'm just replaying
Oh, I'll
the
be
scene.
pushing when we play.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Several,
Are you playing this?
couple nice hands on this one. Ace king for Midge. Ace
Midge
jack
is all
suited.
in.
There's
That's an
nothing
expected
better feeling than being
4,400.
short-stacked and
Midge is
finding
all in
ace
4,400.
king, especially when in a spot where she might get called.
Although I did that the last time we played here.
Four
I did that
cards.
short
Yeah, I
stack,
moved mine
first
to the
all
bottom.
in. Person called me with queen 9 and hit a queen and a 9 on
Did it
the
not work?
flop.
Yeah, it's good now.
But Steve is always so gracious. He shakes their hand and usually gives them a candy.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And then
Greg
just
Melton
look for
calls.
somebody to hit on the way home.
Thank you.
She's all in. Good
You
luck
got a
all
call.
in.
Ace jack of
Greg
diamonds.
sees the bad news.
Good luck all in.
Come
That's
on.
usually what people
This is
say.
up to you, LT. Help me out.
All right, I'm gonna do it for you. Oh, shoot. Sorry, Midge.
Evidently she got a jack.
Oh,
And the diamond.
Wow.
Monster.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
ten.
Ten.
9, 10.
Can you believe it?
Wow.
And she gets there.
You got your king.
Can
No,
you?
no.
You got it, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it. I was looking at the jack.
Midge is
Oh my
break
God.
the table because she thought she was.
Now I'm happy.
She pulled a Paul Lawson
I
that
was
several
just looking at
times.
the
Gets
jack. I
up and
didn't
starts
look at
out
anything
before
else.
You
the
were
final
cursing on
card.
your way out
I
You have to get him at the door because he hits it on the
It's like,
river.
oh, care
All I
about
saw-
5 cards.
Paul, come back, bud. You got chips. Oh,
And I saw the
figures.
diamond.
I never get any luck.
Mark Criticella back first.
Oh,
Now Midge has turned that frown upside down. She's ready to play.
And she come
Is
back,
she ever?
and now she's got Laverne and Shirley. Or Thelma and Louise, or where the sisters, whatever you want to call it. Bruce has a challenging hand, king queen. I wouldn't be surprised if Midge doesn't push again. She plays that way.
Sometimes it's just easier that way, you know. Your hand's pretty disguised, and there's no more decisions to make.
25.
Midge raises to 2,500.
What are the blinds right now, Tony?
Blinds are 400, 800.
Thank you.
Folds around to Chris.
You got some chips now. You want to start pushing her weight,
King
right?
queen. Fold it quickly at that.
I'm not sure what I have.
Everybody
I just
folds.
have to-
Bruce is like, man, did I make the right decision? It's hard to tell.
Just say I bet it chunks.
Whatever it was, it worked.
But he's got a good chip stack. He doesn't really want to. Doesn't really want to push it. There's no really need to.
That's right. He's playing conservative at this point. A couple small stacks there, and they could be out pretty quick.
We might see Greg and Midge battle again here.
Midge folds.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby goes all in here. But he makes a different but sad
With the
Bobby
fold.
folds.
With a 5-6.
Hey, that's his game. In all actuality, you're not that big of an underdog against any of these other hands.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Greg announces a raise.
Yeah, all right.
Let's see what Chris does here.
Raise to 2,800.
We got a button. Oh, Chris
Folds around.
folds quickly. When you have a button raising like that, especially a more than average raiser like Greg would be, when you're in the blinds with a king high, sometimes you overvalue that and try to go all in over top of the button raise, which is profitable at times. At other times, it gets you in a lot of trouble.
Bobby is all in. 8 minutes, 45 seconds left in the blinds.
Bobby's gonna get called in at least one spot.
By Greg.
Yeah, Greg will probably call it the sixes. At the same time, Greg doesn't really want to double him up. Oh my!
Greg folds.
I kid you not, folks. Bobby Miller runs better than any person I've ever met in my entire life. I would got called out of turn by Greg, and he would have flopped 4 sixes. Bobby gets it through, no big deal. Look at Greg. Greg's looking at him like, you had a big pair, didn't you? I know you did. And Greg will convince himself that he did.
And if he goes home and watches this, he's probably going to think he got snookered.
Yep.
Oscar stack first.
Ooh, might see some action here.
Yeah.
Bruce has had a lot of pairs. He's had aces and nines and a few other ones that are high
LT calls.
quality. I have a hinting suspicion that
Bruce raises to
Chris
1600.
might do something silly here.
Chris calls 1600.
I imagine Midge is going to call,
Midge calls 1600.
and probably Bobby.
Bobby folds.
Bobby's got a bit of a short stack, so
LT calls.
he's got to be pretty careful with what he calls with.
4 players to the flop.
A Jack 9-10 flop would be really interesting. Great flop for Chris.
Midge checks. LT checks.
Bruce to continue. Doesn't look
Bruce bets
too bad.
2600. Chris calls 2600.
Chris flat calls.
LT folds.
LT wisely folds.
Nice one.
Ooh. Oh, Mr. Becker.
Bruce checks.
What a turn.
7, 8, and
Chris announces all in.
43.
4,300 total.
Bruce might have the call now with the open and straight draw.
he's got the chips.
It all kind of comes down to what his game plan is to get to the final two. Does he want to gamble and try to have a big stack and kind of coast it out, or is he going to just kind of sit on his approximate 10,000 stack and see what he can do from there?
Well, traditionally, Bruce is not very aggressive. So I wouldn't be surprised if he would probably fold this hand.
And this is where Chris's
The jig is up.
Bruce does fold.
Chris's representations of his hands can get him some calls, but in this spot he just takes the pot down and turn.
Save his chips for another day. Nothing wrong with that
And it's
approach.
not, in a tournament like this, where it's so heavily weighted on the top two, every chip is so important. It has extra value, and there's another tournament just wouldn't.
Renee to act first.
Midge says
Vernon Shirley.
She says three's company too. Why not? Oh, Bobby's in trouble. Unless she.
Midge acts first.
Did
Midge announces all in.
Did Paul raise initially?
No, he was big blind.
Okay.
Bobby folds.
Wow. Really good fold.
Pick up the golf ball, think about it, put the golf ball to the side, fold the cards. There you go.
Steve knows the drill to a T.
I've played against Paul numerous times, and when I'm not playing against him, I watch him. It's
All
just
right,
Paul's
just tell him again.
mantra, whatever.
Midge hands didn't fold, so yeah.
There it goes.
Okay.
3 minutes,
Couple times that
45
I've played
seconds left
against
in blinds.
Midge, she goes all in quite often. And one night we played, she went all in 3 times in a row. And when you get down to the last 3 or 4 people, unless you have something to call, I mean, you have no idea what she has. But she only has one move a lot of times.
Yeah, she generally, plays a pretty tight style. So when she's going all in, you start to think that, maybe she does have every time.
Chris calls 800.
Against the odds, but when she's not showing her cards,
Mitch calls
it's hard to
800.
know.
Right. Yeah, the night that she did that, I was tempted just to call her just because I didn't think she had anything.
Well, that's what happens. You
Renee
end
checks
up
her
playing
option.
out of spite without, putting all your poker cards in line, and then those are the rides home. You go, well, why did I call? I had no reason to call in that spot. Chris flops top pair, but Midge has the
Becker bets
their
1300.
nut draw there.
And I think she will probably just.
Midge folds.
Oh, she gives it up.
Renee folds.
That's a spot where you guys gotta,
Chris.
you gotta take the heater as long as you can get it.
She's protecting her chip stack right now.
She was probably even money going to the turn card there.
Button moves. Bruce stacked first.
Small blind, big blind.
2 overs and a flush draw on the flop is a pretty good spot to be in.
Here comes Bobby.
The run good continues. Look at all these hands he'd up against. Ooh,
Bobby all in.
he might
4,500.
Moskowitz might have a spike call because Bobby's known to go all in pretty often.
All folds.
Folds over to LT.
What was I thinking?
He would.
LT in the big blind.
LT does usually have a personal vendetta against Bobby, so
They have locked horns in the past.
it would not be complete out of the question to see her call here. But
LT
she also
folds.
realizes what's at stake, and she wisely folds.
This is what Bobby is scary because he will accumulate chips like this, and the next thing you know, he will have a big hand, and he'll go heads up with somebody with a lot of chips, and then he will double up, and then he will be a factor.
Oh, absolutely. Even though he's easily the youngest player at the table,
Ooh, man, she
I would
fired that one,
venture
huh?
to say that he definitely has the most poker experience out of everyone at this table. He logs many, many hours, whether it be at the Horseshoe, home games, online, wherever he can. I thought he was going to go all in there.
All in and out.
Me too.
All in and out.
It's like 51.
Okay, Renee needs the ace.
She's also kind of good at finding these aces.
46.
I don't know how much you have. One,
She has
two,
51
Alright,
and
it's
45.
just heads up, right?
I have 45.
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
take a 500.
I have
I
41.
got 41.
So I get
41.
No,
I didn't
I have
think
45.
aces folded, so she
Let's
got
just
a
four
full
back.
3 outs.
Oh, never mind.
All right, I just got that.
No
Ace
aces.
nine,
Dang.
No aces.
Wow,
That's my luck.
No
This
aces.
can happen. Here comes an ace.
What about 2-9? Run.
No, no.
Ace. Oh,
Damn.
my golly.
If you guys were listening closely, Renee said, that's just my luck.
I didn't know.
No,
Right before she doubled down.
Oh, golly. I only have the blinds. I had to try, you know, thinking on the button.
He did the right thing with kings. Being a small stack, she had to go all in. When somebody like
Yeah.
Bobby and an ace,
yeah, give her
that's the worst thing that can
Good
happen.
hit.
And often an ace will show up on the board.
Sometimes it makes you think there's 7 or 8 of them in a deck in those situations. And that's the tough part about tournament play. You know, you're handcuffed by the blind stack or by the big blinds of each stack.
Because I was
Took out
the
the-
And ace 9
Yeah.
looks
That
really
button.
strong
Oh, yeah,
versus,
that's
another player.
Because
You
he knows
have
I
to go in.
split him.
He wasn't there when it started.
Oh.
He's like, oh, she's doing it.
Very unlucky, LT. Very unlucky.
Midge just came in and she's looking for some cheese because she's whining that she got beat with the ace.
That was a lucky one. I guess you need one of those every now
Absolutely.
Midge, another promising starting hand.
Yeah, Midge is getting some cards now.
Let's see how strong she wants to play it.
3 times the blind.
Maybe more.
Midge is all in.
That'd be more.
Wow.
She says, if you got something to beat this, so be it. Should be snap folds around. Greg posturing. Says no thank you.
Midge was early on in action too.
Oh yeah. Alright, let's see some coolers. Let's see some action.
Not unless they're tequila flavored.
No, they're not.
Mark deck first.
Just what I was hoping for.
Mark's been pretty quiet.
See, Mark will probably raise here.
Chris is probably going to do something as well.
It didn't include you.
Mark raises. It'd be interesting to see if Bobby goes all in or
Mark raises to 2,400.
or waits to see another day. He goes all in.
Bobby all in.
57.
57 total.
Chris does a smart thing. He's out.
And we have, as they call it, and as I despise, a classic race. Oh, Mark still has to call.
5,700 is the total for Bobby. And what did Mark bet initially?
2,400.
Okay.
This is where Bobby takes advantage of people. He does have a wide range, but at the same time, he could wake up with a really good hand. Mark just doesn't want to step in it. And again, as it goes back to before, you just gotta make a decision. Or do you want a big stack going into short-handed, or are you gonna just try to wait it out as long as you possibly can, hoping to get the aces, kings, or queens to try to double up later?
Tough position for Mark right now.
I wonder if Mark can tell Bobby's mustache is quivering under the stress.
Can we get a table-side report from the announcer as to whether or not it is shaking?
No comment.
Mark does call?
Yeah, Mark does call.
I didn't want you to have a bigger ace.
Sixes hold up.
This kid, unreal, folks. I've seen it so many times. This kid just gets there, and then he'll be a force.
Well, Bobby has a procedure scheduled later on this week to get the horseshoe removed from his anatomy, because I agree with you. He has a tendency to hit some cards.
I didn't know if the wound has healed from last time he had it removed.
Well, it spreads.
It
was one large shoe, now it's multiple small shoes.
Well, he should really watch where he sits.
Bobby had 57, so right now he doubled that, so he's 11-4 plus the blind, so
yeah,
he's 13,000 right now.
Which is a really healthy stack at this point in the game. He does have some tighter players on his left, so he will definitely be opening it up.
You won. Good move.
Mark gets a walk.
Mark's got to be frustrated. The guy plays so patient and plays so well, and he just gets stuck in these situations where he has to call and you just have to win flips sometimes.
Well, Ace Jack was a good hand. I mean,
so many times.
And if anybody else, he would probably snap call.
I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
No, you don't pull
You can't do that.
I do. I pull a king's pre-flop.
In that situation, they're taking me out.
Midge.
In that situation, yeah, right.
I went from Ace King to
Short
King King.
stack before the line.
There's no way.
A lot of nice starting hands on this one.
That horseshoe syndrome must be spreading around the table.
It's not going to get much. Midge is going to push.
1,000.
12 minutes left in the blinds. Peterfellow all in.
Snapper.
Midge calls.
She called?
Not good for you, Mark.
Or did she?
She said call.
How
She said
much
I
is
snap
it?
call.
How much is hers?
No, you're.
Hers
she,
is-
she
she just
called.
called.
She
She
said
just
call.
called.
She announced
she
the
said
call.
That's why I asked
okay.
specifically.
Midge just
I have a
called.
total of
Makes a difference.
Renee's gonna get an
Total
option
of
whether to call
37.
Mark's all in or not.
3,700 total for Mark.
37
So
total.
27.
It looks like she pushed all of her chips out, but she did mention call.
She did.
I think she made 1,000 pre-flop, or she's called pre-flop. What happened pre-flop with Midge?
I think she's the big blind.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
I'm in a pool. I'm gonna be.
Are we 5 and 1,000 now?
Renee folds. Yes, we're at 5-1,000.
Oh, I'm not sorry.
No,
I don't think I could beat those twice.
Well, they work for you, Mitch. That's all.
Oh, jeez.
King in the window.
I'll put it over there. It's no big deal.
Oh, straight possibility.
Don't you dare.
Pain.
I would not have won.
King's full for Midge.
I had that ace. The ace came again. But
I was going to tell you, hang in there for a minute. I want to see this.
We lose another player.
Wow.
Good
won't be
fold,
seeing me
Renee.
next
Good
I was
fold,
rooting for
Renee.
Mark. Mark's a
Good
good
fold.
guy.
Alright.
I was hoping for him to do well.
That
Well,
button?
He
Mark
played great.
should
Nothing
be
he could
doing
do.
it.
Was
Big move.
handcuffed
Actually,
as
Mark,
it
I
is
had one of
sometimes.
those tens. I had ace 10 of hearts.
Mark's one of
Did
those
you have
quiet
a
players,
ten
doesn't
heart?
say much. He just concentrates, focuses on the play.
Call back
And
first.
he's always trying to get better. You know, he's
All
played
right,
outside a couple
Mark.
times and asked me
Happy
about certain
Thanksgiving.
hands, what I thought
Happy
about it.
Thanksgiving.
I may not always be right, but at least I'm another person to
Same
talk
to
to
you.
and get an extra opinion.
Thank you.
Well, you're very good at that because
Thank you.
there's a couple of times I played against you and you beat me in
Wait,
a
I got
hand that
distracted.
actually
I'm leaving my hand off
you
for
would
a
have
second.
done,
It's
and
gonna be Mister.
you would have you say you would have played it differently.
The
And
Jack
I
Link's
understand your
jerk
approach, and I agree that
mystery
should have
hand.
been played.
Mystery
You
big blind.
remembering that hand?
Did Mark,
Which one are we talking about?
Was when I had
Yeah,
ace
queen
jack and
The top two versus set.
yes,
Mark
with the
raises to
player all in.
4,000.
two players were all in. And that's one of those times where
Greg
where
raised
you
to
just,
4,000.
Get confused as to whether you just check it down. But as you told me on that hand, there was a side pot. And anytime there's a side pot, you bet for the side pot. If it was just all even, that's different.
Yeah.
So I remember.
No.
Yeah, whenever there's dead money to be won, you always want to push the action. Because if you can get someone to fold even a better hand than yours, you're still either getting a discount or winning money on that side pot.
Yeah, on that particular hand, I flopped ace jack, two pair. You had pocket eights.
Pocket eights.
I checked the flop. Turn came an 8. You had a set. We went all in. I went home. You continued to play. In fact, you got 3 people out that hand.
I got very fortunate that night.
Greg calls 1,000.
Okay, Bobby. I think Bobby's going to push the action.
Chris
on
calls
this one.
1,000. Mitch folds.
Bobby might put in a big raise here.
Bobby all in.
That's a very big raise.
That's the raise I was thinking of.
You know Paul's going to go with 4-6.
Approximately 12,000.
I don't see Greg calling, nor do I see Chris calling.
Greg's hands is so pretty sometimes. There's connectors, they're suited, they're paint. And plus he doesn't want to be pushed around. But he does have a player to act behind him, so that might slow him down.
Greg folds. Chris folds.
I really thought I was going to hear Chris say, let's gamble.
That's Uncle Sam talking.
Let's do it.
Not the government, Uncle Sam.
No.
Bruce stack first.
I would say right now, Midge is probably a big stack at the table. Yeah, I can see Chris pushing on this hand.
Yeah, he really should.
Ace Jack.
I'm surprised Midge didn't wake up with 2 kings, though. This seems to be the trend as of the last few orbits.
Chris announces a raise. Raise to 2,400. Midge folds.
See, now that's the difference. Chris raised 2,400 with Ace Jack. Bobby pushed all in with Ace Jack.
It might get the same result, but
I'm saying we'll play.
You want to eliminate any possibilities of anything crazy happening when you are fairly certain you had the best hand pre-flop. When you're playing short-handed, you have an ace jack, especially on a short stack. You just want to get it in there and put them to the decision. You open up the window. Say someone re-raises.
Mm-hmm.
Even with like pocket sixes, he doesn't know what to do with himself. Like, why would they re-raise without a hand superior to ace jack, and he might just muck his hand? Whereas if he goes all in, everyone puts him on strength, and they might all just fold. Midge is obviously just keeping her cards because she has king queen for about the 15th time.
And it's a good thing she's acting first for Bobby Man.
Midge raises to 2,500.
Bobby knows her range and decides that ace 6 suited isn't nearly good enough.
Feeling the same way there.
All players fold.
Bruce shows the old Jack Dewey.
You missed the Midge
Chris
has
Tack
2-6.
first.
She finally gave away her cards into the muck. Now we'll see the difference here of how Bobby plays ace-9 versus how Paul plays ace-9.
Who's first act, Bobby?
I believe Bobby's.
Bobby raises
First
to
act.
2,200.
Paul might have to go with it though. He's got that face. He's got.
Nope.
Steve's sitting behind me is going, nope, not happening. See what Greg does.
Raise.
Greg announces a raise.
He's tired of Bobby shenanigans.
5,000.
5,000 on top.
See if Bobby sees through this. $5,000 total, 5,000 on top.
I think he said on top.
On top.
Okay.
Bobby folds.
Power poker, a little different from the last table. I don't think we had a single 3-bet.
Thinking on me?
Oh, outside of an all-in.
Oh, I got it.
Well played by Greg.
Midge stack first.
Midge will probably have king queen.
King 7. Close.
Wow, Bobby just sidestepped that one. Sometimes it's easy to get frustrated when you get re-raised. It's a decent starting hand, and you start blowing your range to more inferior hands, and you get stuck going against obviously much better hands.
Greg
That's where
announces a raise.
tilt comes into play. If you don't tilt,
5,000
you
total.
find folds where otherwise you might not.
In a situation like this, Tony, the blinds are what, 5-10?
500, 1,000.
Okay. Greg raised 5,000 on top. Pretty high bet. I mean,
Greg
that's,
takes it down.
5 times the, it's 5x the blind level.
Well, that's where at if you're Bob, you might think, wow, what's the purpose of him raising so much? What is he trying to protect? Would he really do that with a hand stronger than mine? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself.
You can see Renee pushing on this hand.
I'm all in.
There she goes.
If you folks didn't know, Steve can see the future.
Renee all in. Do you know what the total is?
69.
6,900.
69.
Happy meal.
Nah, I don't see. No callers.
That's what it is.
Midge says they're so pretty, but I'll fold.
Maybe by Wednesday, what the heck?
Renee keeps accumulating chips while Rudy is home helping the kids with the homework. That's why they drove separate. First one out gets to go home and help with homework.
Maybe they should call a tutor.
I think Renee's enjoying herself more than what Rudy is.
Uh-oh. See, and here's another instance. This is what we talked about earlier.
Look at the look on Bobby.
Bob plays, pretty aggressive, and he gets these big hands like this, and then people don't ever believe him. So Chris is coming in for a raise.
Raised to 2,400 by Chris Becker.
Bob will probably go all in here. Ooh, getting tricky.
calls 2,400.
These guys last week played three-handed, and there's a lot of different crazy things happening between the two of them. So that probably explains why Bobby called instead of just raised.
Bobby checks. Chris checks.
Because more often than not, Chris will bet that flop.
That's a scare card for
Bobby
Bobby.
checks.
Chris is going to represent the ace.
Now Bobby's upset he didn't re-raise. Chris does have the diamond draw.
Yep.
3,200 bet by Chris Becker. Bobby moves all in.
This is why he's so good. He sees right through it.
32.
Chris might call anyhow. He's got the straight draw and the flush draw. And when he calls, he'll probably tell you both.
Last hand before break.
Oh, it is.
Tense moment at the table. Everyone's interested.
Most of the time, people just get up and head to the restroom or go outside for a cigarette, but everyone wants to watch the action on this one.
Big decision. And Chris doesn't feel bad about taking his time now because we're on break, so there's no worry about people's blinds going up or anything like that. So he can take his time and make a whatever.
Will this be all Chris's chips, Tony?
I believe so.
Okay.
Definitely.
Chris really wants that seat.
I do not see him making the call.
Does anyone need to smoke or anything? You don't want to skip the break?
They're pretty even in chips. I actually think Chris has a little bit more than Bobby does.
All right, we'll just see what Bobby and Chris wants to do after this hand. I don't mind playing through.
Me neither.
See if they want.
I need to stop the recording and start it again so that we have like 1 hour.
Okay, well.
It just takes a second.
All right, well, I mean, he might want to smoke or something.
Chris has 9 outs.
Here you go, Bobby. That's a donation to you.
He makes the
Chris
call.
calls.
I ain't got an ace.
Oh.
I'm on some draws.
Oh, wow.
Queen or a diamond?
Queen or a diamond.
Oh!
Hits the queen.
Hits the queen.
How did you hit that?
Hey, I need a diamond or a queen.
As I predicted, Chris is telling everyone.
Wow.
Wow.
That was monster. Hey,
You have him covered?
Yeah, you didn't have
Yeah.
anything. You had the dollar.
Yeah, put it in.
Yeah, he did. Wow.
So, with that victory, do you...
I need a cigarette, yes.
Chris needs a cigarette.
All right, so,
The queen did not show on
so
the
when you
on
come back,
the
we'll
display.
start out.
Clean up just so that it reads properly.
My suck out?
All right, guys, we're gonna take a little break, I think, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Well, I mean,
I
he
was-
was
I was-
concerned about the ace. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
I
have
know.
just had an ace and it would have been...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
I
built
was
that?
committed, and I'm like,
It's
you know,
like-
I'm kind of, I'm like,
Okay.
you know.
So it'll be big blind only.
Yeah, you'll have to deal twice.
What is it? What do the blinds go up to? 1,200?
Shit happens.
It's like being at the shoe, isn't it?
It's just like play.
Come on, it's okay.
I don't even.
Yeah, but he could have had the ace too. I mean,
He didn't. No, that's not.
Yeah, I know. I
I
didn't
played
have
it
it.
perfectly. I have played him. Man. Calls with the gut.
You're not gonna kill me if I go outside and have a cigarette, right?
No, it's just.
it shit happens, man.
I did not.